What was your biggest culture shock moving to the United Kingdom? People on Quora are sharing their experiences. Ryosuke Yokoye from Japan commented, "The stereotype that Britain is a nation of binge drinkers is almost universally acknowledged, but one could never truly understand the scale of it until they actually come here. In Japan, where I'm from, you might see people pass out in the middle of a street, throw up on the pavement, and urinate in public from time to time. But in Britain, when you hit up in a city center of any of the larger cities on a Saturday night, you might witness these things on a scale that is difficult to digest for most people around the world. In the busiest streets of a town that I live in, it seems that there is always something mad happening whenever I happen to lay my eyes on. And the most shocking thing is that the politeness that the British are known for quickly fades away whenever there is a large concentration of mostly drunk males. In the past, when I was in a city center for nightlife, I've been offended and beaten by racial slurs more than a dozen times. People have randomly tried to provoke fights with me, and I've been vomited on in a nightclub more than once. Oh, I have even witnessed a student urinating on one of the poppy reefs, lit on a city's World War I memorial. Even so, one of the things that I truly like about living in Britain, it is relatively loose attitude towards alcohol. I myself have participated in a British public drinking culture to a full extent. And it's a lot of fun when you are still young and energetic. You can't just party anywhere else in the world like you can in Britain. But with everything associated with drinking, the British are paying a huge cost on the excessive indulgence of it. So that was a topic created by the Japanese student on Quora. Let's have a look what other commenters think. Paul Carton replied, "The present-day binge drinking culture among young British and Irish people was mainly created by the drinks industry. In the middle 80s, the sales among young people was in steep decline, due in large part to the rave culture and use of ecstasy. In fact, young people didn't like the taste of alcohol, didn't like small pocky pubs, especially when there was older people there, and did not regard drinking as cool. The industry's very successful strategy was to introduce kiddie-friendly drinks, alcopops called lager, etc. Make it cheap, make the pubs bigger and more age-segregated, and to target ads and promotions at younger people. The result is today's binge drinking culture." Sarah Carrot joined the conversation with words. "As a Brit, I think Brits drink too much. Because A, they are not very good at all at making social conversations, and are quite reserved, so a drink or two gives them Dutch courage. B, the pub is a huge part of the culture, so naturally social gatherings always revolve around alcohol, including funerals. C, drinks can be so cheap, especially in university towns, where they all have weekends called cannage. Students can guzzle so much alcohol for next to nothing. It's encouraged because alcohol brings in huge sums of money. It's a big business." Here's another comment from a Brit named Dean James. "I'm British and I have long believed our relationship with alcohol is our biggest flaw. However, I have been to other places that is just as bad, like Ireland. I have also experienced situations where the alcoholism is worse, but is not publicly shown. Pakistani Christians. My partner is one in particular." To which Jao Gudingo replied, "It may reach high level in the UK, but it is a phenomenon coming among young people, also among not so young in Northern Europe. You see similar behavior in Scandinavia during weekends. Strange indeed, when compared to partying in Southern Europe, where you just go out to meet friends and hopefully new male-female partner. Having grown up in Sweden, people really need to drink in order to relax. Then they could get on with the rest of working week just fine, drinking milk with their steak." For me, the biggest problem of this British way of life is lack of understanding they should not behave the same way when we're traveling abroad. As a non-drinker, I can't wrap my mind around this. I can't see how getting pissed to the point where you piss, throw up and pass out is anyway fun. Isabel Silva summed up. And the next comment goes to Ian Stock. Hear what he thinks. "British politeness is an repression, born of an unreformed hierarchical society, which suppresses people's individual behaviors, from the top down according to the imposed social code that has never been thrown out. When you have a society so screwed up that people cannot find more natural self-expression, then as soon as alcohol reduces the tension, the safety levels blow. What's happening in British towns and cities every week is not people relaxing. It's what happens when people who cannot or do not know how to relax finally have their inhibitions released. I know this will conflict heavily with the image that modern British try to project to their country as a laid back. But ask why it is necessary to keep going on about this. It is the same as constant wittering about being world class. Only places that deep down know they're not need to keep reminding themselves of such things. Real world class relaxed places just get on with enjoying themselves in more relaxed, responsible and less self-conscious ways. And the final comment goes to Kristen Fisher. This is so true. In the beginning, it is fun to get out and drink with them, but after a while, it gets boring and you see people violate others' boundaries quickly. Seems drinking is overdue, especially students and young professionals, if you want to call them that. No offense, not everyone is the same. Just be selective with the people you befriend in the UK. So that was just a few thoughts of people on Quora. Let us know what you think in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the notification bell, and I'm gonna see you next week.